Hello, everybody. So before we jump into the game, I know I'm a little bit later than normal. I don't know, I've been oversleeping a bit. Anyway, before we jump into the game, I want to do something a little bit different. Open up. This is the BAE, Bethesda Archive Extractor. It's the file you use to get the original meshes, material files, textures, stuff like that from Fallout 4. For previous Fallouts and for Skyrim, we just had BSA Opt, I think it was the name. But this is the one for the new Bethesda files. And what we're going to do is I want to take a look and see if I can make repaired versions of some of the more signature outfits. Like, can I do a repaired version of the faded trench coat? Can I do a repaired version of Piper's costume? So I want to take a look at the meshes and see if the actual patches and damage and stuff like that is all done through texture work, or if it's actually on the mesh and how much is done on the mesh. So we want to go to Fallout 4. Meshes. So there's Piper. There's Valentine. Is Hancock in here? Yep. So all of the unique ones have their own section, so they're under clothes. The only one I want to extract then is clothes. And I'm going to put that into... I have a separate folder set up where I just throw in all of the original files. This one? No, here it is. No. It's under... where is it? There it is. Now let's see. Hancock, I don't think is a big a deal. Let's try Piper. Piper. Body female. That's opening up in niche scope. It looks like all the damage is done through texture maps. So if I were to change the texture maps on this, we could do a repaired version of Piper's outfit. Another thing I want to look at is how difficult would it be to remove like the shoes. So, because right now I'm testing on my Armorsmith overhaul, removing all the gloves from outfits that come with gloves built in. So you can actually equip your own gloves and all that. And I'd like to do the same thing with pants and boots. So basically all your clothing items would come as, what would it be, 3 to 4 items. The coat, the pants, the boots, and possibly the gloves if they normally would have had gloves. Let's see. Best course of action might be to just do a transparency map, an alpha map, for the boots and the pants. Use the same thing here because there's clearly pants fully modeled here. So if I were to do like a pants only version, I would set the coat here to be transparent. And then we'd have, it looks like the pants are fully modeled because of the physics engine. So, what I'm not sure about is how I would tell that to the game, because the game has the entirety of the body as one mesh. It has one node for the body. The hands are separate. There's a left hand and a right hand that are separate models themselves. So I can easily turn the hands off for terms of equipping flags, but for the body it's all one thing. But Piper's outfit looks fine, so if I just change the textures around, remove like the alpha maps or whatever, we could have fixed versions of Piper's outfit. So there's no built-in holes in the mesh. So let's see here. Mayor, Hancock, Desdemona, Courser, Nat, Mobsters, Residents, Ronnie, Tuxedo, Valentine. So yeah, this is also fully repaired. I'm not seeing any built-in texture patches. Something like that. I'm looking at the various meshes to see if I can do versions of them that aren't damaged, like Valentine's coat, Piper's coat. You know, so if you can do like fully repaired versions of them. Looks like the meshes themselves have no damage on them. And Nifscope crashed. So I wouldn't need to mess with the meshes, it looks like. It looks like I would just be messing with the texture maps. Let's see here. I suppose the only other one really to look at would be Preston and Hancock. Is Preston in here? Maybe he's underneath Minuteman? Maybe you're not. I extracted all of them. I am not seeing anything referring to Preston Garvey. Grandma Monk Ragnarok, Hancock. Hancock looks like it has a little bit of damage built in. Some rougher edges. Full uniform, mobster, ring, short sleeve and slacks. The Silver Shroud! Sturgis, Squire. Yeah, I try to stream every day. Hopefully one of these days that'll actually mean someone will become a patron, so I can do this full time instead of, when I have free time, which currently right now is, right now, but that won't be forever because, I gotta find a job. There's Sturgis' outfit. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it looks like for example, in Skyrim, I wanted to do this in Skyrim. I wanted to take all the clothing items and split them up, and I want to do this in Fallout as well. I want to take all the clothing items, split them up into different parts, so you would be able to equip a torso, pants, boots, gloves, all separately and independently. The problem was with all those previous games is that if something wasn't visible, it just wasn't there. It would be, what would be a good example? Alright, so say that this is like a coat. What you would basically end up having is I know this is a better example. So say you have a skirt or a coat or whatever. If you were to actually look beyond the skirt here, there would be nothing. It would just be a block. It would just be a solid block of pixels, as opposed to actual legs and the rest of the suit sculpted inside of the skirt, like this figure does. So it would just be like literally a solid block, and then the legs would be coming out of the bottom of the skirt. That's how it was in Fallout, how it was in Skyrim. But because they've applied physics to the clothes here in Fallout 4, they actually had to fully model the pants underneath items because the coattails would react to the physics engine. Which means that it looks like all of the outfits in Fallout 4 have fully modeled torso, pants, tails, and boots. The problem is, if we go and look at the actual files in FO Edit and how it recognizes nodes, wait for it to finish loading, and I'll show you the Silver Shroud because that's going to be relatively easy since I just modified that. Go to my Armorsmith Tweaks mod. If we go to Armor, and let's see here. Go to Name. The Silver Shroud! Here we go. Alright, so this will show you all the various modifications I've done to it as well, because this is the vanilla version. Here's the version changed by Armorsmith keywords. Here's the version done by Armorsmith Expanded. You can see that it's still using the same enchantment. Then we get to my version where I have a completely new enchantment. Then we can see the female and male world models, which are the same thing. No big deal there. Then you look here. This is the flags for how it goes for equipping things. So, for example, for most outfits, the reason that you couldn't equip like armor on top of a lot of outfits is because these flags here, the armor flags, were ticked. So what things like mods like Armorsmith Extended did is it simply removed these tags. So that means you could equip, armor on top of every piece of clothing. And then what you'll notice here is that in my current build of it, I removed these two additional flags, left hand and right hand, which are basically where the gloves come from. So by deselecting those, the gloves will no longer be a rendered space. And what happens is, if you leave these off, then the glove portion of the actual mesh won't show. So you'll see the bare hands because it's not actually loading the glove meshes onto the body. And as you can see here with the Silver Shroud, and most outfits that have gloves, the gloves themselves are a completely separate mesh. So, for example, with the Silver Shroud's base outfit, when you equip it, you're equipping two models, the clothing for the body and the clothing for the gloves. So by removing the glove, if I just did this, if I just removed the gloves model, what would happen is that when you equip the armor, your hands would vanish. You would have no hands. No hands! Because it's basically saying to still, because it would still say overwrite the hand models here. So I had to remove the reference to the glove model, and I had to remove the reference to equip on hands. And now, when I equip the Silver Shroud outfit, the hands are perfectly visible, and I equip gloves separately. Similarly, if I had left this in here, and I had equipped the gloves that have been added by Armorsmith Extended, what would happen is that since the body here says that it's occupying the hand spaces, and I equip gloves, and the gloves are only occupying the